iDubbbz dropped a content deputy.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Content Deputy. Now normally in a Content Deputy I would dance around in my cop outfit in the woods, but this video isn't going to have any of that fanfare. We're just going to get straight into it. I was hoping that if I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks.
What's the like to this? Like, ooh! People are saying this extension's wrong, but I feel like it's been pretty accurate. At least with my own videos, it gets it pretty right. I don't know, maybe it's wrong. Either way, this does show that it has a lot of dislikes. Even if it's inflated, it usually is still showing that it has a lot of dislikes. So it's the general sentiment, even if it's exaggerated by 20% or 40%. Joji knew the perfect time to fold his cards and leave. This era of YouTube is basically in its dementia retirement home phase. At this point, why don't we just invite the grass inside to touch us?
Directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
I feel like to say it's a desperate attempt from Ethan to smear you, wasn't this just a response to your content cop? Like, you made a content cop on him. You decided to make a content cop and swing, and he's swinging back. I don't know why he's acting like he didn't start this.
At me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I...
Attack or defend?
He started attacking our charity event.
I don't know if you know this, but the last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, Hassan. You have to give money to be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
Ethan and Hila are well aware that we raised $1.3 million for charity the first year of Creator Clash. The second year we operated at a loss, and I take full responsibility for that. We did band together. The community and the fighters involved ended up raising $175,000 for charity.
Right, but I mean, what he's saying about Creator Clash isn't wrong. Like, this is separate, right? Like, isn't this completely different from the actual Creator Clash event? And also, like, this is his first example of a desperate attempt to smear him. It's like, he's not even fucking wrong. Like, desperate attempt to smear him. Really not that desperate. And he's just talking about your event, which is failing. And he admits that he's gonna move away from it.
It's been really disheartening to see how often Ethan will attack Creator Clash through us or attack us through Creator Clash.
Ian and Anissa, masters of putting on an event.
He's reposting random troll accounts that are very easy to vet. If you click on this profile, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde.
Okay, well, why? Like, why is he doing this? Obviously because... This is all after the content nuke. This is 5/1. This is May. Like, this is all after the content
posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, dude. You're one...
I don't understand this. Like, he's gonna say that Ethan is smearing him. He's gonna say that Ethan's attacking him, but this is all as a response to this content cop. Like, I don't think any of this would really have been if it wasn't for the escalation that Ethan caused. I feel like it's crazy to sit here and act like all of this is unprovoked. Matter of fact, it's the most provoked.
Step away from calling me a cuck. Just take the plunge.
What?
He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon. Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it. Now, with this recent revelation that people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I, Anissa...
Okay, this is not a recent revelation. Like, people have been saying this for a while. Like, you know, people have been saying that Creator Clash's failure is his fault since he had said it last year. So it's not new.
I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous...
Okay, so Ethan says it's a failure, and you say that him saying it's a failure is a desperate attempt to smear you, and you now admit that it's a failure and are walking away from it. And so, I don't really care that it's a failure. Like, people fail, things happen, and even smart people with a lot of money can fail. Trump has had, like, 4 or 5 bankruptcies, and he's still a billionaire. And so, that's something that you can say, well, he's failed at that. Okay, well, he's still successful in the long term. iDubbbz is still a very successful person, even though he's fallen off and Creator Clash has failed. But to say that all of this is like a desperate attempt to smear is like just dishonest. Like, it's not.
These 2 events, they're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties.
Okay,
we don't have any.
What else did he say that was to smear you? Because creator clash is obviously a valid thing to say failed.
Ownership.
So what else is there?
I'm going to do something different. I'm going to talk shit like a. I can't really have my cake and eat it too. It's either you're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're going to have a charity event. You know, it really can't be both. I'm very proud of the event that we made with Creator Clash.
That's fair.
It's still happening, June 28th. I'm just not going to
be involved. All right. Creator Clash. We know it sold 5 tickets. All right, that's heat. That's great. Let's get it. Let's just like get the ball rolling.
Or you like the message. The best thing that you can do for me is to support creators.
Dude! Oh my god, I get it. Holy shit. Creator Clash. Creator Clash. Did you know that Creator Clash is happening? Hey, say it 15 more times so I get the memo.
Gonna be a good boxer. I didn't think
Oh my god, I've hit this fucking right arrow key about 17 fucking times and he's still going about it. I swear he didn't even, like, I swear he brought up Ethan criticizing Creator Clash to pretend that he cared about him criticizing Creator Clash to plug Creator Clash. Is this an exposed video or an advertisement? It's an advertisement. Holy crap.
Best thing that you can do.
No.
4 years working on this stupid boxing.
Oh my god. Okay.
Type of fellas.
You underestimate my strength! I've got kosher strength! The will of Allah! I mean Yahweh! Yahweh!
I think the worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is...
So this is actually the, like, oh, phew, he's been edging us to get to this really crazy point. You know, he did about 5 minutes of shilling, so hopefully at this point we get to, like, some actual, you know, content.
That he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just
Wait, so he didn't even say that. So he says he's been smearing me, and now he just goes on to smearing him. So this isn't even, he's not even, he just said that he's smearing him so he can promote his boxing event.
implied that he was being taken
Oh my god, like.
advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community.
Okay, all right.
And I called him a bitch-made coward. That was like the summary of personal insults labeled at Ethan.
Okay, so you called him a bad boss, a tyrant, a bitch-made coward. Okay.
That was like the summary of personal insults labeled at Ethan. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys. Let's get after it. Israelis have no right to defend themselves, actually. All Israelis are settlers, actually. What is he going to give me a history lesson now? Is he a historian? Yeah, he just discovered empathy, by the way, and only extends to the point where you're actually talking about Jewish people or Israelis. Then empathy stops and they should all be murdered. Bro's actually out there like Timothy McVeigh. He's running to the closest fucking kindergarten to blow it up. There's a Jew.
Okay, well, I mean, to be fair, before watching the video or making jokes like that, I do think it's a little bit disingenuous. Like, I don't think it's fair to say that, oh, Ethan's gonna claim iDubbbz is an anti-Israel, anti-Semite, whatever. But at the same time, if he did look at the description, he did see all the people that helped make the video, which I think it is fair to call some of those people anti-Israel and whatever, like Hassan and stuff. When they had their falling out, obviously a lot of that had to do with the Israel-Palestine stuff, and so that's not crazy to say, but a bit of a straw man.
Timothy McVeigh. He's running to the closest fucking kindergarten to blow it up. There's a Jew. I heard there's a Jewish.
That's not what Timothy McVeigh did.
They want all you guys to quit, and for me to just be like alone, little Jew boy, alone.
Like Ethan, under a year ago, was saying he doesn't use anti-Semitism in that way. He's not a guy to call anything and everything anti-Semitic.
You know, in my whole life, I've never screamed foul on anti-Semitism. I literally have been getting this shit since the second I stepped foot on the internet, and I have never fucking ever done this, okay? So the people online, they're saying, oh, Ethan's making himself a victim, or Ethan's making everything about anti-Semitism. I've done this once in my life right now.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
Well, I think a lot's changed, to be fair, right? Like, when you are associating with all of the people that are saying things not too far from that sort of stuff. Like, if you literally look at it, like, a lot of these people in Hassan's orbit are saying things things like that, like that he's like a racist Zionist, you know, and like it's just basically things that if you're going to strawman iDubbbz for saying these things, well, I think you have to ask why. And when you look at why, it's because he's associating with all of these people.
I don't know if that's what the video
I think he also is joking somewhat.
I mean, I get that he's scared and offended, but this was the whole fucking point of my video, Ethan. I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place.
And then also, it's like you go on to watch the video, and it's like, it's not that far from the truth.
what the video is.
I mean, I get that he's scared and offended, but this was the whole fucking point of my video, Ethan. I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place. You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing, and then you immediately equate.
You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing. It's not like a CPS harassment thing. It's like he literally had CPS being called on him. Like, I don't know why this might be a small thing, but saying like, oh, the whole CPS harassment thing, that's not like a thing. It's like you're downplaying it. You're sort of saying that it was like this thing that just kind of happened. It's like you have to be crystal clear, or else it's not like harassment. Like, I feel like it's more than just harassment. Like, that's like
You were triggered by this CPS.
You are triggered. First of all, who the fuck still says triggered? I mean, I say it ironically, but saying triggered is like when you say that someone's triggered, you're saying that what they're feeling is sort of unjustified, and you're using the word triggered because it's like you're triggered, but you're mad, and it's not worth being mad over, so you're triggered. But it's like, okay, he's upset because he had been visited by CPS due to a harassment campaign from Hassan's orbiters on the internet. It's a little bit weird.
Harassment thing, and then you immediately equated.
The CPS harassment thing is when CPS shows up to your house, and the FBI talks to you. Like,
Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was horrendous, and it was horrendous for us. And now you're doing it again.
I'm gonna watch it live.
Should you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But like, why?
I just don't think, I feel like you're gonna get really emotional and say something you regret.
I mean, I respect him for this. Watching it live is something that Hassan never did. He never watched the Content Nuke live. And I think that you are really telling the internet that you have nothing to hide and that you are full of just trying to get to the truth if you're willing to watch the video live. I think that's just, I think that is a trait that shows a level of authenticity that a lot of people don't have. I just think that's good.
Well, I've got the button.
Like, I know you don't have a problem taking it head on, but I just feel
Of course not. Because I know that
you're
whatever...
understandably upset, and I feel like it might be a little...
Should we wait to talk about it, or you want to talk about it?
You should do it off stream. Because I don't know, this escalated initially because we were live and you guys were heated about, I forget what it was.
I just think it might be wise to watch it, think out your thoughts, and respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I don't need to fucking pre-watch this. I don't need someone else to hold my hand through it. Like, I'm ready to take on anything that these people have to say about me. He's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys. I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys.
You attacked us, so I
also feel like there is a level of like, it's also content. So yeah, he's gonna watch it live. So like, to be fair, whether it's authenticity or content farming, you know, if it's content farming, it's still authentic. Like, he's doing it in a way where you're seeing his first thoughts and reactions. So
guys, I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys.
You attacked.
Hold on, I accidentally pulled off my keycap. All right.
You should do it off stream. I forget.
I don't need Eddie the fuck. I fucking hate Jews too, guys.
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things that honestly are scary.
I just said I vented about them not defending me. What the fuck is he like? He's actually losing his shit.
But he was venting about them not defending him. Like, this is true.
And make like I just can't believe it, dude.
Like, I remember he was basically saying like iDubbbz, his longtime friend, was not defending him, and that's fair. Like, I think that's fair.
Should you call him up?
Venting to 20 to 30,000 live viewers. Okay.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ian.
Why was that in the compilation? Like, it was not an example of venting. That's just what venting is.
Fair weather friends who are so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
That's just venting. Like, when you do that edit, it's supposed to be them doing something that they didn't say. And this is what venting looks like. I'm confused. I don't really understand.
Ian sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something.
Spineless. Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What's the edit there? The edit is like, we got you in a lie or something?
What's very insane about this content...
But that's just true. Like, that's just what venting is.
Never will be. You never will be.
Like, that's what people say when they're upset about, like, a friend backstabbing them or not taking their side in a scenario where they think they should take their side. Like, that you do feel betrayed. That's how you express the feeling of betrayal, and that's not, like, that crazy. He's not, like, fucking screaming or anything. Like... I don't understand. Like, this is supposed to be like him getting triggered or whatever he said earlier as well. And it's just like, this is just honest. Like, this is just an honest, like, this is honest emotion.
As long as they're getting something out of it.
Ian sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something.
Spineless.
Yeah, it is spineless. You are fucking spineless, dude. I'm getting more enraged about this than he is because it's so obvious to see it here. Oh man, it's crazy.
V is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What's very insane about this content...
Did he just use that clip twice, or did I don't know.
Is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video, because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like that. You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to him reacting to my video, he's just outright calling me a fucking Nazi.
Is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, we can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that? Well, this is the white savior, Ian, who's just found empathy, unless you're Jewish, of course.
Ethan, people are allowed to shave their head and not be called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you're going to critique his podcast or be pissed...
I did feel like that was one of the weaker points from Ethan. Like, I do feel like this sword... iDubbbz just finds the sword in Hassan's room and then takes a photo, like, promoting, like, the content cop or whatever, or not even promoting it, really. It's just, like, an image that he did with these 4 streamers or 3 streamers, and I feel like... I don't know necessarily if this is supposed to be a dog whistle. Like, I find it hard to believe that the guy who just made a video shitting on, like, Nick Fuentes is also a Nazi. And so ultimately, I don't think this is a dog whistle. Maybe for Hassan it is, but I don't think that Ian picked this sword, had the swastika facing the camera just to send a message. I'm not 100% on the, like, it's not a dog whistle side. Like, if you're Ethan, I can kind of understand why you view it this way. I don't personally think iDubbbz is a Nazi. Like I said, he did, like, an entire video, like, shitting on Nick Fuentes and, like, the whole anti-abortion people. Like, your body, my birth vessel. Like, I don't think the guy who's like, you know, against all the people that are often called Nazis, like, is also a Nazi.
Ethan, people are allowed to shave their head and not be called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you're going to critique his podcast or be pissed off that he personally insulted you, even that is enough to be called anti-Semitic. It's fucking crazy. Now, I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword. I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword hilt because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally. And he would be right.
Okay, so then if I'm saying I don't think he did it intentionally, and then Ethan is saying I don't think he did it intentionally, then he probably didn't do it intentionally.
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No, that's
Okay, so then what are we talking about here?
No, I don't actually think that. The chance
I didn't even pre-watch this. I just, I mean...
that they did on purpose is close to 0, right? So I'm not gonna...
Close to 0. That's what I'm saying. It's close to 0.
I'm not accusing them.
I picked up a random sword in Hassan's room that was laying around. That could be the end of the discussion. You don't actually need to debate Hassan about the sword hilt.
He left it up.
Decision-making
If it was a mistake, he could have deleted it.
But
Wait, so now he doesn't think it's a mistake? I don't really understand.
I'm not going to delete the photo because that would be indulging in your weird anti-Semitic fantasies.
We can free Palestine without
That
being
is
a Nazi.
true.
You fucking Nazi.
Because if he deletes it, then he's admitting some sort of fault. But it's like, I don't think he thinks he's in the wrong.
How about that?
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance. My,
What the fuck? No, but like, this is where we have to go back to it. And we're just like, you didn't give him a chance. Like, you're not done being nice to him. This is stupid. This is not like, you were never nice to him. him. This isn't, you were not, dude, when you're flipping off the camera to Ethan with Frogan Denims and Sean the Black, you're not being nice. I don't know how to say it, but doing a content cop on somebody isn't being nice. It's not a puff piece, okay? It's a hit piece. There's a big difference. It's crazy. I think it's ridiculous to say that you were ever nice to him because nobody even on your side thinks you're being nice to him. That's why they're being mean. That's why you're getting likes on this video, because you're being mean.
Sincerity and my empathy.
And it's the same reason why you're getting dislikes, is because you're being mean.
In that last video was real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that Denims could have crash out moments.
Bro.
I think we're all capable of it, but he was using it in the video to suggest that I was making fun of his mental health.
To my good friend Ian of 8 years, I really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
To make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial weird crash out. People can have crash out moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help. Dude, I'm not making fun of your mental health. Every example you used was me basically saying that other people.
Are you fucking lying or are you lying? You said he needs help. That means therapy. The word help is a stand-in for he needs therapy. That's just so dishonest.
People can have crash out moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help.
Maybe if Ethan's able to go to therapy and work out these problems with a professional, then we would be able to get into things. I think it's so crazy that you're gonna sit here and say that you're not weaponizing his mental health when you are literally saying, because you are upset and you are crashing out due to these circumstances that are going on online that are causing you to crash out, you should just go to therapy, bruh.
Dude, I'm not making fun of your mental health. Every example you used was me basically saying that other people are trying to affect you. It's understandable that you're going through this right now, Ethan.
That's not what you said. You said people have crash out moments. That's the most like, oh, people like that. When you said people have crash out moments, that is the maximum amount of charitability you gave him. Like, yeah, you know, I know that some people get angry sometimes, you know, maybe get some help. That's still weaponizing his mental health. That's not concern. That's concern trolling.
People are trying to affect you. It's understandable that you're going through this right now, Ethan. We all go through this.
And so if you had actually thought that, like if you had actually thought that like the crash out moments were something you were seriously concerned for him to get help for, you wouldn't have made a fucking content cop. It's so dishonest, man. And it sucks to see that he's getting away with this amount of dishonesty in the video, because if you watch this and your brain isn't like on drugs, or if you're not zanned out and you're like remotely focused on the video, you can clearly see that this is the most disingenuous virtue signally sort of I am gonna post the 1 hour, 10-minute video shitting on the guy who's currently going through stuff that I highlight in the video, but, you know, he should get help, and I care about him, you know? I really do care about the guy. And, you know, some people crash out, but at the end of the day, if he just got therapy, this would all go away. You're such a fucking liar, bro.
To characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment, is cruel and pathetic on a level I didn't think he would ever be possible of doing.
Every fucking example that you tried to smear me with was me actually pointing to something else that could be affecting you. He even brought up the clip of me saying, if you get help. We all need help. Everyone on this planet needs help.
What?
I don't care how you get it. You can wander into the jungle and go on an ayahuasca trip. I don't care how you get your help or what you define as help. But if it helps you, that...
Is he really trying to say that when he used the word help, he didn't literally, that's not a stand-in for therapy? Dude, is he really saying get help as like, well, get help could mean going into the fucking GameStop and getting an old copy of Oblivion and playing it until you feel better? No, retard. It means that you want him to go to therapy. You're alluding to him getting help from a professional. If you just meant getting help in the sense that like vaguely anything that provides you with some sort of alleviation from your problems and stuff, then you could have just told him to jerk off. Oh, hey, why don't you jerk off and then get back to me? Like, that's not what you meant. You meant for him to get a fucking therapist, or that he's like, and this is what his wife's doing too. She's on Twitter saying that Ethan Klein's on drugs during the debate. This is all some sort of conspiracy to imply that Ethan Klein is currently on drugs. He's currently in need of help. His kids are in need of help. There's all of this fucking concern trolling going on online where people are basically saying that either him or the scenario around him needs needs to be intervened with. And it's not healthy. It is not healthy, and it's not a good standard or precedent to set or to, what's the word I'm looking for, promote.
That would be good, because right now it doesn't seem like you're getting much help. The main criticism that I was seeing online with
Oh my god, this guy is so fucking dishonest, dude.
my video from Ethan and Hila is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point that I want to make
He
here.
did not.
My
That
good
is
friend
true.
Ian and his
Now let's pay very close attention. Does he deny this? Does he deny this crucial point?
hour-long takedown did not mention
Watch if he tries to get away from the point, if he tries to change the subject or talk about him like a whataboutism. Does he deny this?
one time Child Protective Services. Not one time.
There was not even one mention of CPS.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS
yes.
came to us.
So, like,
without
for a lot of
without
these-
even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS.
So he does not deny it. He does not deny that he did not mention the CPS call. So for all of the things that are basically caused by this terrible moment in this guy's fucking life that have caused him to behave the way that he has, he decides to not mention it, but he also knows that he didn't mention it. So it's not even like he's gonna try to lie or convince himself that he mentions it. He just knows that he didn't bring this up at all. That is fucked.
Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me? And I didn't have any chance to defend myself. You just immediately, in the same podcast, right next to each other, said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, fuck Ian and Anissa. And you linked those.
It's literally, hold on.
Have any chance to defend myself. Day, I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me?
That's not a reason. Like, you're shit-talking me. Oh, now your kid's getting visited by CPS. Is this an escalation that I can say is inappropriate? What?
And I didn't have any chance to defend myself. You just immediately, in the same podcast, right next to each other, said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said,
all right, let's just keep it a buck. Like, let's just compare two things right now. Ethan talking shit about you. Okay, that's thing number one. And thing number two that we're gonna compare it to and decide if it's worse or better is this guy having the FBI plus CPS visit his home. Which one do we think is more important? Probably the CPS. Well, the reason I didn't mention this is because I didn't get to respond to your shit talking. Dude, what are we talking about right now? What are you saying? Your response was the content cop. So why wouldn't you mention it in the fucking content cop? I don't understand what you're saying.
fuck Ian and Anissa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment.
It's not layering flavors. It's two separate topics. That's like saying that, like, talking about one thing in a stream and then talking about another thing is layering it. What does that mean?
He had nothing to do with the CPS call. What are all these fucking comments on your Reddit saying, like, it happened because of the CPS call?
Dude, you literally...
What are all these fucking... And then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do with the CPS call. What are all these fucking comments on your Reddit saying, like, it happened because of the CPS call?
This is totally shifting the goalposts. So what he's originally saying is like, oh, Ethan is saying he omits the CPS call. And then iDubbbz is saying, why are people blaming us for the CPS call? You're shifting the goalpost. We're talking about you omitting it from the content cop, which would justify a lot of the behavior. And you've chosen not to include that information. Now what you are responding to is something that no one is saying. I mean, yeah, maybe a few people on the Reddit. A few people on the Reddit are saying that. That is stupid. I don't think iDubbbz caused the CPS call. However, saying something like that to get responses from people to say, oh, he didn't do that, is to avoid people saying that, yeah, he also didn't include the mention of the CPS call in the content cop. So, I mean, like, we're just shifting the goalpost.
I don't entirely blame your audience for getting confused because number one, it's a fucking cult. And number two, you can't even get the timeline straight. So if anyone's watching your dumbass, their brain is also going to get scrambled.
Be friends as long as they're getting something out of it. So again, he's not showing the context. What was the okay, I'll play this part. Did you guys ever find the context of what I was talking about here? Because I feel like I wasn't even talking about him. I could be wrong. I just don't remember ever saying, like, if I did say that,
I thought you were talking about them, about Anissa and Ian in that clip.
That's the same clip of
It's all the
when
part of the same
CPS was
clip.
called.
Yeah.
Same clip.
It's part of the same conversation.
You completely wiped your brain of what happened during the CPS stream. That's not my fucking fault. That's no one else's fault but yours.
All I wanted for you to do was say the bare minimum of like, hey, this is fucked up. This is not true about CPS.
This is not even a response to not including it. This is just saying that he forgot something on stream not related to what you're saying.
Whatever.
Somebody's a video clearing up the timeline because everyone is confused.
Like the bare minimum. It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
This is what I was talking about. You cannot have something terrible happen, be like, yes, let's make some content, and then shit talk your friends of 8 years.
I'm so fired up, I don't even know what to do with myself, which is why I'm crying. On the other hand, I don't know if that's a good state to be in live.
That's that. Elon kind of spitting.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
For anyone confused about the timeline, Ethan was talking shit about us on his...
Okay, so...
CPS came to us.
That's correct.
For anyone confused about the timeline, Ethan was talking shit about us on his Instagram before any CPS shit. He was also talking shit about us on his podcast.
Well, Ethan begins to publicly attach this editor's statements to iDubbbz, Instagram harassment. And then, but this is Instagram, right? And so basically, obviously it'll get amped up the day that the CPS call happens.
Before any CPS visit, on March 7th, CPS...
Well, obviously, if you look at the increasing, like, okay, harassment increases. It goes from Instagram to a podcast. Why? CPS gets called. And this is after he's getting shit on by your editor. And, like, I don't know if it's fair to attach you to that, like, obviously, but I think it is fair to say that emotions are going to be heightened and, you know, you're going to draw associations.
Shit about us on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th, CPS visits Ethan and Hila, and that same day, they decide, let's do our podcast. And let's have the topic be the CPS visit and how distraught we are about that. And then right next to that, right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa. But you don't just talk about us. You shit talk us, and you imply that we're friends with people who are doing this, who are the ones who are harassing you.
But you are.
Do you have evidence that
H3
Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say that?
Random anonymous Redditors?
Did I say that?
Wait, what's the...
I said they're primary responsible for harassing me.
Who called CPS?
What the fuck? So, I don't know.
I mean, you can never fully know, but the people that were compliant in the campaign saying that Ethan's children were at risk, and the ones that were saying to call CPS were all in Denham's chat, and then she was propped up by Ian in the content call.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Hila's defense, because when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot shittier for Ethan and Hila. And I do mean that literally. There was this H3 stream where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking about his own health. He was talking about his caca breath, his dog having diarrhea, his dog having giardia.
Olive has giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
His child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
The whole family possibly having giardia.
Oh,
and now Hila has giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
What can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying to...
Because I'm not trying to get it.
No, it's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
Talking about the viscosity of his child's shit.
And although meanwhile he is covered in viscous.
So are we justifying the CPS call? Are we saying that the conditions of his home are uninhabitable? Is that what we're doing?
Low viscosity,
yeah.
Diarrhea.
He mentioned diarrhea a lot.
Crazy diarrheas like in the middle of the night. All the time he's having these crazy diarrheas. You wash your hands as best you can, but these are really nasty diarrheas.
What is this setting up from iDubbbz? What are we adding this for? What are we doing?
And then extremely...
Because we're trying to distance ourselves from the CPS call, saying it's not our fault. And okay, But now, you know, he's going to say that people who we're associating with are responsible for it. And so we're getting to a point where he's going to describe the conditions of the home that were referred to by the people that were saying to call CPS.
Foul-smelling diarrheas.
So, of course, Ethan, having made so many enemies over the years, other people react to his content. And when other people see that he's talking about his children getting giardia from dog poop.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS.
This is fucking insane. This is insane. He's literally justifying this. If I see a sick kid, I can just call CPS. If I see a sick kid with a parent, I can just be like, you know what? You're probably the reason that the kid is sick and therefore an irresponsible parent. Yeah, like so he has a dog and then the dog poops in the house and there's bacteria from the poop that gets on other things. And this kid is putting shit in his mouth, not shit, okay? Like he's putting objects like toys and stuff that or whatever, maybe he's like sucking on the couch and he gets sick because germs spread, okay? And so we're basically going to say that Ethan Klein endangered his son, and that's a fan of that's why we should call CPS. That's crazy. That's fucking insane. So you can just justify calling Child Protective Services if a child ever gets sick.
Including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this.
Yeah, but these people are all like being ironic and they're all just joking and being satirical. Like Ethan has poop hands. Oh, he has poop hands. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he has poop hands. Like this is he eats poo. Oh, Ethan Klein eats shit. Let me write Ethan eats human shit in the chat, and then I'm not going to be, you know, like, what, you think he's being serious? You think that the person he's watching eats human shit? No.
Stream. So there are 26,000 people listening to Ethan go into great detail over 7 or 8 minutes about diarrhea, viscosity of diarrhea, his child having giardia, him and his whole family having giardia. They're calling it the poop house. Now what Ethan does, instead of taking any responsibility for sharing too much on his live stream, is that he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say,
what?
Instead of taking any responsibility
for what?
For sharing too much on his.
So it's his fault for sharing too much. That doesn't make any sense. That literally does not make sense. He's like, yeah, there's an illness and the illness has spread throughout the house and people in the house have gotten sick. He hasn't taken responsibility for giving a health update to his fucking audience. And his hate watchers are taking this health update to prove that somehow his kids are in danger. He's literally saying that because the kids got sick, that Ethan Klein he had it coming, essentially. The FBI was bound to visit the home because what happens is people get concerned when they think that your kids are eating dog shit. You're insane.
His live stream is that he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say she was the source.
Specifically Denims, why?
Of the CPS call.
Why?
Because her chat was reacting to Ethan and saying, wow, this is...
And she's egging them on. She's playing into this narrative. She's saying that basically, yeah, silently nodding to the chat, this is pretty gross and sick and uninhabitable. It's just like, dude, you're...
Concerning.
Is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the fuck am I meant to do? I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you because...
So you chose not to add the important, crucial context because you don't trust him.
Am I meant to do? So when he calls on me to defend him, what the fuck am I meant to do?
Ask people to not justify the CPS call, or you yourself not justify the CPS call like you just did, like you silently did the last video, like you've been doing this whole video. Like, I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? Don't do that shit.
I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you because in your video defending yourself, you used a video
that
takes context from like 3 different places and combines them to make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
Love made a good point. You said, is this every comment? I believe this is a live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were
No,
selected.
it's this. I think when you full screen it. No, this is an edit. It's a cutout of the full chat. That's just enlarged.
Oh,
there,
really?
Over the screen, yeah.
They're different, I think.
Yeah,
It's not timed. It's not timed the same way.
Gotcha.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bullshit and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively
Wait, how is it bullshit though?
edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denham's chat. But that's not what it is. And then
What
when
is
he's
it?
called
Wait, what is it then?
out on it,
What is it then?
he hides it. He moves
What is
his
it?
window over
What?
the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children.
Is this not about? This is literally about it, though. Ethan is fighting shadows in his basement. Hila's wearing diapers. Dogs are shitting all over the house. What the fuck is going on at the Kleins? California Child Protective Service. IDubbbz is acting like he's hiding the chat, right? This is Denham's chat at Denham's. And it's highlighted, meaning it's her chat. She can see this. Like, dude, what? How is this? This is some malicious edit when it's literally about Child Protective Services in Denham's chat. So what is he? What?
I mean, much like many other
Reading the
illnesses,
chat,
it's
co-signing
very,
it.
very, very dangerous.
Now pay
So I would
attention
assume
to
he doesn't
her
actually
chat.
have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like...
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some
I'm
fucking
confused.
responsibility.
So the CPS call basically is nobody's fault but his own. It's nobody's fault but his own. That's just insane. That's an insane thing that you're saying. Like I mean, what you're saying that he had it coming and he did it to himself. He take responsibility for psychopaths on the fucking internet doxing and fucking not doxing, fucking calling the FBI, investigating you, and Child Protective Services, and mailing skulls to your house. Take some fucking responsibility. What are you talking about? This is insane, and this needs to be criticized. This is a terrible thing, and it needs to be criticized.
It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denham's herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. One, I don't.
Well, then include this in your video! You didn't include it! Dude, the whole thing is that you didn't include this. And he's like, it's kind of weird that they want me to make a statement. Okay, then don't make a statement. Fine, just include her making a statement. So that way, at least in some capacity, your 6 million view video is echoing some sort of sentiment that we're not going to standardize CPS calling. Jesus Christ. I mean, what are we doing here, man? This is insane. Essentially, what you're doing is you're saying, well, there's a reason we said nothing, and it's because A, it's actually your fault, B, Denham's already said something, and C, we don't trust you. None of the reasons are good, none of them are coming from a good place, and all of them are fucking retarded.
Out it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
Oh, okay, so Denham's doesn't condone that, which is ironically more than you've done, because you basically said that it's justified, or that it's, it's not crazy to see why someone, it's your fault for sharing too much. Imagine if Denham said that shit. Okay, why are you not saying that? You keep yelling, I'm almost there. All right, bro, fuck that shit. Stop. What I'm saying is that it's insane that he's going to say on one hand that, he kind of had it coming, but on the other hand, that I didn't need to include it because Denham's already disavowed it. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, bro? This is insane. This is insane. This is an insane human being, dude. I just don't know what to say. What a fucking fall off. If you had showed me this video in 2017 when I was in middle school, yes, I was in middle school in 2017. If I was in middle school and I had seen this video where this guy is using argumentation so poor, so flawed, so bad, the logic and reasoning is on the same tier of fucking Beetlejuice, I'd be shocked. I'd be like, what happened to my goat? This is some Britain's Got Talent. Like, I'm slamming the X button instantly if this guy's coming on stage. Hey, this is Debate Club. This guy's fucking losing. Leafy won, I suppose. I suppose Leafy won. It would be a great time for him to get back on Rumble and post some content about this. I mean, I'm basically filling the void or the gap that he should be occupying right now. We're all so close, don't stop. All right, bro.
Fucking responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denims herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying.
Well, look at your chat, bro. It's CPS, not the cops. They're condoning it right there. Why do you think they get the idea that it's okay to do this? Why is specifically your chat taking a stance on this that most other chats aren't? Can we take any fucking guess? Guys, it's a real mystery. It's a real fucking mystery. This shit's so... it's retarded. It's fucking retarded. It is retarded is what this is.
Yes, we should do this because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan initially was the openness. I think it's a problem that you are that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything. It's part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate to the audience.
I think that's a point of pride for Ethan. I think in a world of where content creators are very plastic and fake, for someone to be as transparent as him, like, I think that's commendable, honestly. Especially with, like, the Hassans and the iDubbbses.
Is to be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
It is not strictly a benefit to be as open as possible on your podcast.
Ethan was just sharing his thoughts, what we were thinking, we were speculating.
Sonny's crawling around, he's putting everything in his mouth, he's at that age, he has Giardia.
We were speculating.
Oh, and now Hila has Giardia.
Shut.
Be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
Yeah, really? How many siblings do you have? I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will somehow
by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it.
On top of Ethan characterizing me and my wife,
let's use an 8-year-old clip of him with Bill Burr. Out of all of the episodes of his podcast he had done, by far the most awkward one. Like, I just think that the clip chimping is so overdone and it's so beaten to death. Even iDubbbz I would expect more from. Imagine you make a response to iDubbbz and then you're making the video where you're like, iDubbbz is actually a racist skinhead, and then I'm taking the clip. By the way, ironically enough, if we're gonna use that as some sort of evidence for Ethan Klein being socially inept or like whatever, not open or too open or something, you know, that clip is from the same time period where iDubbbz is still saying N-word, F-word, still saying gamer, freak it. I don't know how I can say NF without. Literally, it's from the same era of iDubbbz saying the hard R and the F slur. So I don't know why we're ever pulling clips up from that age. You have literally no room to do that.
As
I would read my chat and I would hope that people would have something nice to say, but they're all literally just talking about how they're jerking off right now. And so what iDubbbz is also failing to mention is after the clip of Ethan saying his kid has Giardia, in a later podcast he says his kid and Hila did not have Giardia, so yes, it was speculation. Yeah, that's like saying I'm sick and then you're not diagnosing yourself, you just feel off. You're speculating.
Semitic. He also takes a dig at my tattoos.
Bro, you literally look like a fucking freak.
And so this is, you know, he's smearing him, by the way. Roasting someone's tattoo, smearing someone. Do we know what the word smearing means? Smearing is implying a spreading of falsehood at somebody's expense. Not like an ironic joke or a meme. It's like defamation adjacent. That's what the word is. And so smearing. Roasting my tattoos, guys. Smearing me.
Free tattoo pack that you get for 25 cents from a windy thing, bro. Like, literally, my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from Chuck E.
I'm gonna smear fucking peanut butter on my balls or something and then have iDubbbz lick it off.
Jeez. Bro looks like he just went to the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing.
Are we dead-us? Are we dead-us? Are we dead-us? You got roasted on Reddit. So, you got on. That'll be 5 updates, please. Dude, Ethan, you're literally a fucking loser Redditor. You got roasted on Reddit, and my tattoos are cool. My tattoos are cool, and your tattoos are lame. I'm inked up nice and cool. Yours is cringe. The fuck are we doing here? Like, literally, what are we doing here?
but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean,
So it's not a good thing that he got roasted on Reddit. Oh shit. Wait a second. This iDibs guy just made a great point. So Ethan Klein did something that Reddit deemed as bad. I'm sitting here thinking he's winning this whole beef, but dude. Oh, of course.
I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with because that means that they did a good job from a technical standpoint.
So it's not even bad. What? Ian knows he can't win in bigger points, so he picks the small offhand comments, LMAO, just like the Master Hassan.
But it's sort of a failure in every other aspect, particularly the decision-making aspect. If you want to go tattoo for tattoo, Ethan, we can.
We're talking about decision making when we're banning Froggy Fresh from Creator Clash. Okay.
Do that. You want to keep it to other things? We can. I'll give you that option. Ethan also talks about the potential CTE that I might have after boxing.
Yes.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. Some people are saying the CTE is starting to take effect, I guess. That would be comforting if there was some explanation, at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred.
Again, smearing. You might have CTE. Your brain appears to be functioning at a lower capacity due to your recent comments on social media.
For having to share the load.
He's just calling you retarded in a politically correct way. This is what he's saying. He's saying you sound fucking retarded. That's what he's saying, and that's all he's trying to say. You know, he's using the specific boxing thing, but what he's really trying to say is you sound stupid, and that's about it. Like
doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
What if we we'll both do 25 at once?
25 each.
Oh my goodness.
Great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
Also, why are you talking
What are we showing? The clip of him doing jumping jacks? And this is the own?
about CTE at all? Like, you've continually illustrated that you can't keep track of anything.
It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys
nice form on the jumping jacks.
Initially called them out.
He can't even keep straight who attacked who first. He thinks that our podcast where we're expressing sympathy for him and Hila was the impetus for him talking shit about us. I much prefer boxing-induced CTE than harassment-induced CTE. Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that
you
like
should
he
post that on r/roasting. You should post that on the roasting subreddit, dude. It'll get a lot of upvotes. My roast got a lot of upvotes, so surely it's good. And yeah, basically.
Such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like, the whole thing is a fucking lie. He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time.
He texted me one time, hey, dude, we should talk this out. And I was like, I don't feel like having this conversation right now. That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me. And I told him, dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now.
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment, and then or at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone. You wouldn't have shit-talked me. You would be curious where my brain was at and where I was coming from. There's this moment in the Content Cop where I'm trying to give an example of the cycle of harassment. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of... Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Ethan and Hila act like they have no idea what I'm talking about here. So, I mean, maybe...
But why do you talk about this topic so much? This just came out. This came out yesterday and it has 1.4 million views. This involves real people and their fucking livelihood. I think that matters. I think the way that people interact with other humans when it comes to their actual livelihood is something that you should talk about, especially when there's lying involved and large platforms. Look, man, people want to talk about platform responsibility and stuff when it comes to promoting gambling, but I think that ultimately this stuff is serious as well. I think that it matters. You should talk about this stuff. That's all I'm really saying. Drama is drama, right? If people get, they're canceling Dream because he said I don't know, he called a Japanese person a Jap. okay, like that's like a slur technically, but like, you know, that's something where you want to talk about like internet drama. Okay, that's far less important than like fucking CPS getting called on a guy. That's kind of what the point is. Why are we taking our time about internet drama when people are dying in Palestine? SMH? Because I talk about drama and not Palestine. I'm not the news. I don't know what's happening. I wouldn't know how to talk about that.
Maybe they don't.
The fuck are you talking about?
It's a very obvious and easy to digest point. That's why I made it that way. I'm going to explain it here so everyone on the internet understands. When you have a podcast where you are constantly emotionally dumping and saying things just off the top of your head, and you're attacking other people randomly, maybe from your
that was rage bait? I'm so fucking desensitized.
Perspective, it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion, he's somewhat repulsive to look at.
And be
pedophile. Pirate Software was like weird about it. It's like, look at my old voice, it's so lame. What an obnoxious loser. She goes, I can't believe these people are so obnoxious. And he looks like an idiot who's obsessed with me, dude.
But what happens when other people comment on your situation? It doesn't feel too good, does it?
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
That is the back and forth I'm describing.
So he's just going on to say that he's pissed off for nothing.
You might have thought we were just saying that Ian and Anissa are bad friends. Well, guess what?
Bruh.
We didn't take it that way.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What we took it as is Ethan and Neil are shit-talking us. They just implied that we are okay with people using CPS as harassment, and now all of their fans are brigading us.
Which you've proven to be true. Okay, yeah.
So I am going to respond in kind and make a content cop. So yes, that is what the cycle of harassment looks like.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
You might think that all of the harassment you're getting has everything to do with your politics and your idea of Israel-Palestine, but a lot of my gripes were centered around you dragging me into your shit. You know, you knew that you...
Where does that come from, though? That comes from, like, the hate that he's been getting from, like, your editor and, like, the orbiters and stuff about Israel-Palestine. So, yeah, let's just, you know, let's be serious, right? Let's be adults and, like, talk about this stuff candidly. And he's gonna complain that Ethan Klein is too open about this stuff and too honest or whatever, but it's like, brother, I think you should learn, or you should take a page out of that book and read it and be honest and be candid. This is such a jumbled mess. This is literally a jumbled mess of a video. I don't know how this got posted. I just don't know. That's true. Why bring a song into your video? Well, like, he's gonna say it's not about Israel and Palestine. Okay, well, why does the entire cast and production team of your first video all people who that's their problem with Ethan? Like, that's their problem with Ethan, is that, oh, he's a Zionist. He doesn't, it's like, that's the problem.
You were going through a lot, and you were saying, I'm hurting, I'm now going to make them hurt because they're not putting their head on the chopping block. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me.
They are the people in your video, though. Hassan is very anti-Semitic. It's pretty obvious from his content. And although he may not be anti-Semitic to everybody, I do think that he's demonstrated a level of anti-Semitism through his support for terrorist groups that target Jewish people. I don't think that's crazy to say.
They're not Anissa. It's not Hassan. It's not all of these other creators that you're...
Jobs, bro. Jobs.
...attacking. You're not the biggest victim on the...
I mean, it's very unemployed. It's very unemployed. Dude posing with the swastika sword. I think the swastika sword was a stretch, though.
Internet, Ethan. Other people can experience a horrible fucking time. And guess what? They're not getting this other benefit, which is 26,000 viewers. You're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this. You're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse harassment than what even you send her way.
The shit he said and posted about Frogan over the past years is like insanely nasty shit.
Yeah.
Worse than anyone I've seen. If this is true, absolutely mind-blowing, insane shit.
Hold on, it's not worse than anything you've seen. How could it be worse than anything you've seen?
Literally, no. I guess
he was
not.
very nasty. Well, I'm just saying, people like fucking want to like get lay down and fucking like.
I'm talking.
What?
Talking about specifically
castrate,
against Frogan.
But like he called her fat, right, and ugly, which is horrifically mean. I get called a fucking baby killer.
I was talking specifically about
that's way
Frogan.
worse than being called fat and ugly, in my opinion.
Also, on top of Ethan and Neela constantly...
I think that's true, obviously. Like, he's right. Like, it is worse to get called a baby killer than to be called fat. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Are we seriously gonna say that, like, oh, the harassment from Ethan is like that's pretty bad, getting called a baby killer, opposed to being called fat? Come on, dude. Come on. What are we doing? We've been doing this for, like, what, 2 weeks now? Is it not getting old? Is it not getting tiresome? Like, I feel like you made this content deputy, and, like, people think that I'm getting tired of or that I'm a slop tuber. It's like, okay, I'm a slop tuber, right? At least I'm not doing this. Like, at least I'm not like this jumbled, complete word salad mess of a video that is 32 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's posted. It's posted on his main channel. This is his main channel. This is literally how he's made his millions of dollars. Like, this used to be something, dude. This used to, like, there used to be a level of content on this channel that was unmatched on the YouTube landscape, and it's just complete fucking garb now. This is buns. This is literally buns. This is buns! This is 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, you know, Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb would have Content Cop listed as a series and it had ratings. Dude, it had like a fucking 8 or a 9 out of 10 for some of them, and these are just buns. It's shite.
Victimizing themselves. I did notice that as soon as we didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, Ethan took that to heart and he started to make that his employees' problems. Instead of just, sucking it up and taking it on himself, he decided to imply that Lena is going to have a problem with that.
A lot of this has ramifications for the crew. The way that they have it set up is basically, if Lena were to drop out, she would lose, like, she would have to pay back like $25,000 or something like insane. And besides that, which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out, she's been working really hard. And just because I'm having an issue with what's going on here.
You bringing up Lena dropping out of the fight was you publicly showing to your fans, like, I don't approve of this. You were saying this shit before the Content Cop even came out.
Which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
I was totally on board until the organizer put out a video calling me a psychopath for harassing his friend.
Obviously, Ethan and Neela will victimize themselves every chance they get. But when they have the chance to victimize someone else who's on their crew, they'll also do that.
You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her.
Why would I do such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have as much agency as I do. You didn't have to badmouth me on your podcast. That was a choice that you made.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
Oh, the organizers of this event are not jumping to my defense? All right, well, maybe instead of shit-talking them, maybe I should zip it.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her. By the way, iDubbbz, Lena's fucking having a panic attack.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
But you're just lobbing it to me and Anissa. I'm lobbing it back to you. You're the one who brought it up. If you lob it back to me and you say, well, I didn't have your back publicly. Well, fuck you.
Yeah, we're done here. We're just done here. This is a 32-minute video, and we're 30 minutes in, and that's just all I needed to see, bro. I'm so, like, we're free from the drama slop. I cannot physically watch anymore.